We're going to be solving multi-step equations. The two different types of equations that we're going to be looking at, one is with parentheses and the other one is with like terms. So whenever we have parentheses and there's a number on the outside, we distribute the number on the outside. That's how we're getting the 4x and the 24. Then we add the opposite. So that's why we have negative 24, and that gives us a negative 16. Since this is multiplying by 4, we divide by 4 to get our answer of negative 4. Now, if we look at the next problem, notice that we have 4x and negative x. That adds up to 3x. We have a 5 and a negative 8, which adds up to negative 3. So notice that we're combining like terms. There's no parentheses. That's why we're not distributing. We add the opposite. So that's why we're adding 3, because that's the opposite of negative 3. And that gives us 12. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So when we divide by 3, we get 4. So looking at example 1, we see parentheses. So we know we're going to distribute the 3 to each of the terms. And that gives us 3x minus 21 equals 9. We're going to add the opposite. So that would be a positive 21. And we get 3x is equal to 30. Since this is multiplying, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So when we divide it by 3, what we get is x is equal to 10. Now letter B is similar, but this time we have a negative on the outside. So when we multiply it, we have to remember to multiply by a negative. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 8 is a positive 16. We add the opposite. Opposite of 16 is negative 16. So we have negative 2 is equal to negative 6. We divide it by a negative 2 in order to isolate our variable. That means get it by itself. And that gives us a positive 3. Now, when we're looking at letter C, notice that this is different. We don't have parentheses. We're going to add the like terms. So negative 5x and 2x is negative 3x. And then what we have is 9 and 2, which is 11. We subtract the 11, and we get negative 3x is equal to negative 27. We divide by negative 3, and we get x is equal to 9. So that's multi-step equations. We're going to transition to word problems. With addition, some words that we need to know, some add altogether more than starting. Subtracting, some of the words that would tell us that we would need to subtract would be different, subtract, less than, or loss. So key words for multiplication would be product and times. And for division would be quotient and divide. So we're going to take this sentence right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to write the equation. And then we're going to solve it. So sum right there means that we're going to be adding two things. The and tells us what we're going to be adding. So we're going to be adding an 8 and a number. The number is going to be x. And that's equal to 5 because is means equal. Then we're going to subtract the 8 on both sides. And that right there is x is equal to negative 3. Now, if we're looking at the next one, it tells us quotient. So we know we're going to be dividing. In algebra, when we divide, we're going to use the fraction bar. Order matters. So when we look at the order of it, and is comparing the two different things, a number and 2. So we're going to put the number first. We're going to put 2 second. Is, of course, means equals, so it's equal to 5. Now, the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So we multiply each side by 2. The 2's cancel. We isolate the variable, so x is equal to 10. For letter C, we've got a couple keywords here. The first one is times, and the second one is difference. And of course, we see the word is, so we know it's going to be equal. So we know it's going to be equal to 45. It says 3 times the difference. That means we're multiplying the difference. Well, in order for the difference to go first, we have to put it in parentheses. Then we're going to times it by 3. Now, what are we subtracting? Remember, the and statement tells us. It says a number and 9. Order matters, so we put the number first and 9 second. Now, this is parentheses, so we know that we're going to distribute the 3 to each of the terms. 3x minus 27 is equal to 45. We're going to add the opposite. And that gives us 3x is equal to 72. And then we divide it by 3. And what we get is x is equal to 24.